Okay, and so moving on to the next question, I was really interested when I read your article that you wrote about staying zero waste. It was really interesting for me the fact that you mentioned stocking up food. Because right now going to the shop, it's quite, I would say scary at times and hard. So you mentioned that you make a list for groceries, right? And that you have the whole plan for your what you're gonna eat for the week. So could you maybe talk a bit more about that? I think it's really important and useful at these times.
So yeah, as in the article, I advise to do the groceries for 1 week because stocking up for more is really not is not sustainable because you might overconsume your food. It also might increase the prices because there are a shortage of food in the supermarket, and maybe you might deprive other people from what they need. So if there is no more, good example, toilet papers for others, it's not cool either. And as the government assure that there would be enough food for everyone, then it doesn't make sense to stock too much for multiple weeks. And I think 1 week is a good planning because it's quite convenient to carry food for 1 week. It's not too much, like in a good backpack plus some bags. And it also allows you to prevent food waste, because in 1 week there is very few food that can rot.
Yeah.
So that I think that's a good thing. About my meals, my diet.
What do you eat? What do you cook?
Yeah, exactly. So I must tell you that I'm mainly eating plant-based. So this is also something that has a huge impact besides all the single-use items that we can throw away. Decreasing our meat consumption has a real impact for the environment, so it's very sustainable. And I shop mainly in zero waste shops, so where there is mainly whole food and dry food. And actually, we can have a look at my pantry.
That would be great.
So like this, you see how it looks like.
Oh yes, show us your stuff.
So it's
This is so cool.
It's totally pro. I didn't put it properly
Just
before
for
the
the
call.
video.
Yep. So yeah, for example, I have rice here, which I can do, I don't know, poke bowls with fresh veggies on it. Lentils, which I can make maybe stew with zucchini, eggplants, tomatoes together, and chickpeas to make, I don't know, couscous salad with sweet potatoes or something. And the advantage of these foods is that they take little space because they are dry, and they can actually stay, I will say, forever. It's not the exact answer, but for easily a year in the pantry without rotting. So it's very convenient. I can buy a lot of it and don't worry about it anymore. And what I do is every week I buy fresh veggies and fruits to add to these ingredients. So yeah, that's how it works. I have a bunch of recipes that I like to cook, and it's quite easy to plan them on the week.
And then again, like those meals that you spoke about, right? Like all the zucchinis, like all of the veggies and everything that you have in there, it's quite healthy, right? It's you cook at home and it's also good for your health in many ways without going, a lot to the shop or I don't know, going anywhere. So that's pretty cool. And another question that just kind of popped to my head from my own experience that I have is kind of when you buy a lot of vegetables. I really love vegetables, like vegetables, different fruits, all that kind of stuff. And sometimes I don't really calculate it all that well. So I buy more than I'm able to eat, and then I kind of try to, save it for later because I'm just not able to consume
Yes.
it. So my question would be, do you have any kind of, I don't know, maybe a tip or suggestion on how to save, these vegetables, like how to keep them fresh for
Yeah.
longer? Do you have any kind of like a storage tips, or I don't know?
So yeah, it always happens to me all the time, because I'm not like picking up exactly what I need for the whole week. I'm taking a bunch what inspires me, and sometimes there are some leftovers, of course, that has to be eaten. So actually, it's also a good opportunity to try new things. For example, if there is one, I don't know, pumpkin left, try something new and try to mix other ingredients with what we have. But there is also a possibility to, I don't know, make a soup out of them.
Yeah,
That's the easy way. And of course, freeze them somehow. Not always possible to do the exact same recipe after, because it might lose its texture.
Yeah.
But yeah, soup with them is usually a good way to reuse them.
Yeah, a soup is actually a good thing, and I think I read it somewhere as well that people use the leftovers, especially for vegetables, to brew. I'm not sure how it's called in English, but in Lithuanian it's called sultinys, and in
Can't help you.
English I'm not really sure
broth?
what it's called. It's
Broth?
a what?
Broth, like a soup?
Yeah, that's the word. Yeah,
Oh.
exactly. So, do you know some Lithuanian, by the way?
I guess from what you explained.
Okay, so yeah, this is the thing. So people do that as well. I've never tried it myself, actually due to the lack of time. But since we're on quarantine, like as you mentioned in your article as well, it's really nice to try new things and to cook new things,
Yep.
new recipes and all that kind of stuff, right?
So this one can be done out of veggie scraps, even, not only from old foods. So each time that you cook something, you put the scraps in the freezer, so in a bag, and afterwards just boil them for a few minutes, and you can actually get a broth out of that. I did it several times, and yeah, it works pretty well.
Cool. I have to try that. I really like that stuff, but I buy it on the shops usually, so that's on me. Okay,
Yep.
and moving on to, you said that you do the shopping in zero waste shops right now, and I
Yes.
think, well, at least from what I've heard, a lot of people, well, at least they think that these shops are closed and you can't really get in or do anything in there, because of the just safety measures. So, and you said that it's actually possible to buy zero waste. So, do you have any specific shops or like a list for them? Like, where do we go if we want to avoid plastic?
Yeah, very glad you asked that question. So indeed, yeah, actually we can do a more sustainable purchase in the supermarket. We don't need to go to a zero waste shop to be zero waste. It's possible to do it in the supermarket.
Okay.
But in this period, it's quite crowded, or there are lines in front of the supermarket for people to go one by one. And it's like a risky area because there is overflowing people, so better to avoid it. So, but fortunately, there are these alternative shops, which can be indoor markets, which can be local stores or zero waste shops, and a lot of them are still open. So, it is possible to go there. There is plenty of food. There are less people, and it's possible to buy without packaging if we go to a zero waste store.
Do you have any specific examples, maybe like the names, or where do you go?
Yeah, so for indoor market, there is the Benedicto Turgus.
Yeah.
It's open. There is also Halles Turgus. I guess there are also others. For zero waste stores, there is Zeroteka and Alpana Unpacked.
I think you have a list on your page, right? You have or it's an article or something like that, like zero open for Corona, something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
So exactly that's the main purpose of my project, zerowasteshops.lt. So all the zero waste shops are collected there, And during the corona, I actually called them one by one to be sure that they were open. And I created a category called hashtag open for corona.
Yeah.
Just look for it on the website, and it will filter the shops that are currently open. And there is quite a few, so it's very handy.
That's a really great job that you did there. I think it's really important.
Do you have zero waste shops around your place?
Yeah, we're from Kaunas actually, and at the moment I would say it's harder to general. In Kaunas, we just had this one zero waste shop opened recently, and before that we just had like kind of markets. It's either from farmers or different kind of stuff like that. So we usually used to go there, and at the moment I'm not sure if they are working. I think they're called open jar, right? I would be
full jar maybe.
Full jar, yes.
So I heard about them.
I'm not sure if they're open right now during the virus. But yeah, as you mentioned, we're trying to have as little impact on plastic as possible at the moment in the regular markets. But as well, we go there to, like at the moment right now, yesterday we had this shopping for the whole week. So we planned meals one by one, and then we just, listed what we can cook each day, and then to just use all the scraps and everything else, not to leave anything behind. So yeah, but again, it's really hard to avoid plastic in these normal shops since salads are usually packed, and rice or any kind of grains, they're packed, and yeah, it's actually quite hard.